Confessions of Paper Addict Cup File Shop. I am coming to you today with a fall layout, and I've got to tell you this new floral sprig. I think, oh, maybe it's called Fall Sprig. I'll put a picture of it up. And I gotta tell you, oh my god, I am in love with this cup file. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. I think it's my second favorite behind the Christmas Build a Poinsettia cup file. I'm in love with this. So gorgeous, super easy to back, and I think I'm gonna actually use it in my 6x8 album also, and just cut another one down in a different size. I backed this one, and then I left some of this open so we can do it together, and then I want to show you the difference and of backing it with regular paper, which is gorgeous, but then also using your distress oxides to do some blending on it. So today I used Ground Espresso, Vintage Photo, Victorian Velvet, and Shabby Shutters. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. So I want this side. I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to flip this. And I want to be able to fussy cut that pink flower at some point. So I'm going to come over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to trace the outside of this leaf here. So I'm just going to go slow. And I like to flip it because that way if your pen skips, you're just going over the back of the cut file and not the front of it with a big line across your cut file that everybody can see. If you get some on the back, it won't matter because nobody's going to be able to see it. Alright, so I moved the paper a little bit there. Let me see here. We're just tracing, and I'm tracing the actual cut file. I typically will trace the negatives, the inside that stays on the sticky part. But today I am tracing the actual cut file piece itself. So when you do that, you must cut it differently. If I was tracing the negative, the inside piece, I would go like this around my pen mark and leave a little bit of a border so you have something to glue to the cut file. But because we traced on the outside of the cut file, what I'm going to want to do is go on the inside of the pen mark and don't leave any of the pen mark on there at all. Okay, so it's two different ways to back cut files, and I hope that what I said makes sense. If you have any questions, naturally you can leave them in the comment box below. Reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to help you and talk to my friends. Okay, so we're just going to cut this up. I am not going to speed this up because some people have asked for me to actually go right ahead and back the cut file. So, see what I'm saying? All the pen mark is still on this piece of paper. All right? So then what you can do is flip it around and dry fit it and see, okay, how did I do? And you don't have to be perfect because you can always go in and trim everything up afterwards. Like I'll probably have to trim a little bit right there. But other than that, really pretty. So let me show you the difference in ink blending on your pieces of paper that you cut out. And you're going to want to cut then ink blend. So let me get this on here. This is the top cover of the cutting mat. All right. So super pretty, both of them, right? But the one on the right I ink blended, and the one on the left I did not. We just used as plain pattern paper. So both are absolutely gorgeous. It's just what you want and makes it look a little pretty. So all right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this one now, and I used this pretty paper here, and I think, yeah, that should be good. This is the Hip Kit Club October 2021. I want this side. And I've got to tell you guys, this is probably one of my very favorite hip kits ever. I literally bought it like 3 times. I loved it so much. And I think I'll probably use up maybe 2 of them and probably hoard one forever because I'm just in love with it. So you don't have to be absolutely precise on your tracing. You can always trim it up after the fact, so don't worry. Okay, so there you go. I'll leave that turned over, and again I'm going to cut on the inside of my pen mark. And again, if I didn't do this 100%, then we can just use our scissors to trim it up a little bit. And sometimes I cut too much, and I'm not going to waste my paper. If it doesn't look too bad, I'll just cut a little teeny piece off and then fill the little hole that I left. Alright, so this one and this one. So this, I hope you can see that, because yes you can, because these are kind of the same color. So this I'm going to want to use Vintage Photo, and this one I'm going to want to use Shabby Shutters. And I need to get my blending brushes. I picked the wrong one. Okay, that goes with this. And I just threw that, which I'm sure you're not surprised about at all because you know how clumsy I am. Okay, one thing when you're blending on these, don't blend in the same spot that you're going to adhere the pieces to your cut file, because you'll get ink all over your cut file. So do that in a separate spot, or clean up and then glue your pieces to your cut file. I'm saying this from personal experience. So I'm just going to do the edges just like this. And then you can do the whole thing if you want to, but I think just doing the edges adds a little something. Okay, and then I'm going to put this away. And then let's come in with, and don't mix your 2 colors together because you'll end up getting a color you don't want. Some green. This is like a bluish greenish paper. And I'm going to do a lot of it, but I don't want to do the whole thing because I think it gives it some variety, some variation in the pattern paper. And then I'm going to go right ahead and get this out of the way. But what I'm going to do is turn it around because I don't want the glare from the glass mat reflecting back up. Okay, glue. And all I'm going to do is go ahead and glue this down. I always hold it so it doesn't move on me. And I'm just going to do like a relatively thin strip of glue, not super thin because you definitely want the glue to be there, but not so much that it's seeping out the sides. Okay, and then let me lift up so you can see how much glue I put down. And if you know how to back a cut file, you can go ahead and skip forward. Alright, and now I need tweezers because I tend to not touch these, especially if I've already ink blended, because I don't want to get ink on my fingers and then transfer it to something. I'm going to put that down just like that. And you're always going to get some glue that comes out the side. I take my paper towels and I roll over it. Well, that's making a lot of noise. Like this. And I can dab too if there's a lot of extra. That way there's not glue all over my fingers. Now we're going to go ahead and do the next piece. And I do have my craft room windows wide open today because it's absolutely beautiful. And I just love fall. I don't know if it's technically really fall yet or if it's still summer. I have no idea. But I always glue the inside piece too because you don't want that flopping around and getting caught on your page protector when you go to slide your page into your album. So I might stop talking at some point during the video and then have to cut a part out where a motorcycle goes by or something. All right, this is in my way. Okay, and again, I'm just gonna set that over that, and I don't press down until I'm sure that I'm good, because then the wet glue gives you the opportunity to wiggle around a little bit. I'm just gonna roll it. So that is all glued, and I'm gonna turn it around, and I did pretty good on the leaf. I see a couple little spots on this brown leaf that I wasn't perfect on. So then I take my scissors, and be careful with your delicate cut files, because if you flop them around too much or too hard, the stem parts will start to bend too many times and then become very fragile. If that happens, you can always just glue your cut file back together. I mean, I've done it before. And I go underneath the cut file and then cut the pattern paper. Yep, car's going by, sorry. And because I never can do it right where I don't cut the edge of the cut file and then it looks funny. So I always go underneath. Oops. And trim that up a little bit like that. Otherwise I'm cutting it right into the white part of the cut file, and then you get a spot that's uneven. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, love it. I'm using this super pretty background paper. Let me bring it up close so you can see the pattern paper. And I really wanted to use this as a background. And what I'm going to do is put one of the sprigs up here in the top, and I'm going to get it close as possible to the border without having to cut it, so I have as much room in the middle here as possible. So I have that touching there and that almost touching there, and that'll be perfect. So what I'm going to scrap is this really great photo of me and my husband from last Thanksgiving last year. And I'm just going to put it right here. I think I'll move this a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so let's... right there. Alright, so that means I have to move this a little bit too. I think that looks better. It opens it up a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. And then, because this has lines on the paper, I can actually try to use the lines and make sure my photo is straight. Like that. I'm just going to dump a little gold over here to the right hand side. Oh, look what I did. But that's okay. It kind of looks like where it needs to go anyways. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit because I am obsessed with this color and I don't want to waste it. And I'm just going to lightly dab with a very little bit of this because this goes a long way. And I'm just going to twist and turn. It makes it sort of look like the packaging technique a little bit. Alright, I have everything glued down now. So beautiful. I love this cut file. I'm going to use it a ton. I can just tell. Alright, so I did not pop the picture up on any foam or anything. I want this to be kind of flat. I have a bunch of embellishments from this kit. These are wood veneer leaves. Some of them have gold foiling on it. I like these ones. So I'm just going to do these two because they match, and I'm going to lift up a little bit on the cut file and just kind of tuck them in to extend and add some pretty embellishments in here. There is adhesive on the back of these. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to mimic the same thing up here. So I'm just going to turn this around and do the same thing here. I have some ephemera pieces, some chipboard picked out. I have some super duper cute buttons and some stickers. I was looking through this and I was thinking, this is so special. I like that as my title. So let's get that off there. And this is why I like my tweezers, because now I can hover. Okay, I have foam on there now, and I think I'm going to just put it right in the corner here. think that looks good. I'm just gonna stick that one side down because I think I want to tuck some stuff behind it, even though I have absolutely no idea what that stuff is. I have some pumpkins. Maybe I can put that in there. I think that looks okay, but I really don't have this color anyplace else. But that might be okay too, you never know. That's a little bit better, not so big. Just as a little something, and it's a very small space, so it calls for a very small piece of chipboard. I like that. I'm thinking about painting these to match that. I don't know, so I'm going to try it in a little spot like here to see if I like it, and I absolutely do. So I'm just going to quickly go over the tops of this with just a little bit of paint on my brush and then let it extend as far as I can. You don't want it super wet because then it'll drip down and get on the background paper. So I'll just do one on the camera here, and I'll do the other one off camera. And I'm putting the very tiniest bit on here. You do not need a lot of this. A little bit goes a very long way. And I think I like that better. But I absolutely want to use these buttons because they are probably my favorite thing ever. So let's pick some out. So I think, oh, here's one with leaves. I like that. They're supposed to have adhesive on the back, but they are like what? Almost 2 years old now. So let's pick up those 4. Okay, we are coming into the home stretch now. I do have everything glued down. I painted both of those, and off camera I went ahead and put some twine through the button, so that's fuzzy. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So I'm trying to think about, let's put the green one over here, and then I'm gonna put, no, let's put the orange one over here. I want to get some more orange in here because there's orange right here. And then let's put this one here, and then we'll put that there. I think the last thing I'm going to do is Pink Fresh Gems, and I'm going to do small splatters in certain areas, but let me show you this. Okay, I need 2 more for here. So what I'm going to do is just put a dollop of glue right in the middle of all of these. And get my gem picker back out. Flip this around. Usually I use this end to flip it. And then get the twine off that. Oh my gosh, everything is sticking today. I think there's way too much glue on that. Put those there. And I just glued them down with glossy accents. I'm going to come in with the same Shimmerz Gold Digger. And I'm only going to put splatters in a couple certain spots right at the end over here. Like so. And I think that I'm going to call that done. So I'm going to call that done. I think it's cute. I'm not 100% happy with the title because there's no blue anyplace else, but it's cute. I might change it later. I doubt it though. I like the way it came out. I love this cut file, you guys. Absolutely love this cut file. You could back these with acetate and make little shakers out of the leaves too. How beautiful would that be? Oh my gosh, look at this cut file. I love it. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking with me today, and I hope you liked this layout and you enjoyed the video. I'll put close-ups at the end for you, and I will link everything below. This cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict for fall, okay? And thank you so much for stopping